Salesforce.com New User Training, Types of Fields. Now that you understand the basic organization of the database, let's focus on the smallest units in that structure, the humble field. The field is where you store all your data. It may be small, but ultimately it's the most important part of the database. What good is a database without any data? Sometimes when data is stored in a field, it is referred to as a value. Other times you may hear entry. Just know whenever you read any of these terms, they are talking about the data you put into your fields. The most important fields for you to understand as a new user are text, which is the simplest type of field. You can type any characters you want into a text field, so long as you don't try to type in more characters than your sysadmin has used to limit the field size. If they say the field size is 20, and you've got an entry to make that is 21 characters, you're going to need to figure out a shorter way of saying it. The next most commonly used field in the world of Salesforce is the pick list field. In other contexts, you may hear it called a drop-down field. It's basically a predefined list of values, so you can just click on one instead of having to type it in. It's particularly good for anything that only has but so many valid answers, such as type of account. It makes data entry faster and reporting more accurate because words are never misspelled. The next most important set of fields are currency and number fields, which are basically the same thing with different formatting, date fields, and something called a lookup field. Currency fields are where you record money. On this record, which field is likely a currency field? If you said annual revenue, you are correct. When we save this record, we will see a $sign in front of it, and whether we put in commas or not, we'll also see those. There is also a number field on this page. Can you identify it? Yes, right above annual revenue is the employees field. You can type numbers into both of them in the exact same way, but the number one won't have any $sign applied when you save. Note that you can also use shorthand to write long numbers. Instead of a 1 and 8 zeros, I could just type 100 and the letter M like this, and save. And there is our 100 million again. You can also use the letter K for thousands. Now let's find a date field. Here's one of sorts, the record creation date. I say of sorts because this is actually a date time field. You can create either. This particular record doesn't have any date fields. They are exactly like the date time fields, only without the time included. And lastly, let's take a look at a lookup field. Let's go back into edit mode so that it's easier to see what our field types are. Can you guess which is the lookup field on this page? There is only one. If you guessed parent account, you are correct. Notice the icon of the magnifying glass beside the field. That's how you know it's a lookup. If we click the icon, a dialog box opens that shows us the records we can select to connect to this one. That's what a lookup does. This relational database is strung together by a series of lookup fields just like this one that lead from one record to the next. Contacts have lookups to accounts so that they can be connected to the account as its representative. Opportunities have lookups to accounts so that you can see who the deal is for when on the opportunity and see all the deals for that account when on the account. That's the cool thing about lookup fields. Whenever you have a lookup at one end, you get a related list at the other end. Let's save and look at the related lists on this page. Contacts, activities, and opportunities are just some of the related records on the account object. Here we can see that there are multiple contacts associated with the Acme account. There are also quite a few sales deals for them. If we looked at any of these records, we would find a lookup field somewhere on it that has Acme entered in it. That's how they got connected. There are many other types of fields you will find in Salesforce, but understanding these will give you the foundation you need to easily understand the others. Formula fields calculate values for you based on what you put in other fields. Multi-select pick lists are just pick lists, but allow you to choose more than one value, just as the name suggests. Text area fields are bigger, so you can see more characters than normal text fields, and so on. Now that we know about all the parts, let's follow the paths between them and learn how to navigate the terrain. See you next time.